Hey everybody, welcome. Happy Saturday night. Oh, I just got done coloring my hair and doing laundry, and I thought I should do a live stream and talk about my skincare. So I got to put my hair up, and excuse the mess behind me. I'm downstairs in our TV area. So I have all my stuff here. I thought I would try to apparently drop everything. Go through my skincare routine, kind of what I do in the evening. So I am going to get my hair up and get started. So I just got done coloring my hair, and it's sort of, but not quite dry. So generally, though, in the evenings, what I do is kind of clean up my hairline so that I keep my hair out of the way of what I'm doing. And I'll take off my makeup, which I've already done. So I just use the Neutrogena dupe makeup remover from Walmart. It's their Equate brand. And it's still a mess. All right, there we go. Let me just get my hair ready. All right, one more. All right, so I hope everybody's having a really nice night. So what I do in the evening when I am kind of in for the evening, hey, one busy mama, hey, you want to join me, darling? Want to jump on? I thought I'd go through my evening skincare routine. I just got done coloring my hair. But yeah, if you want to jump in, I sent a couple people. I just kind of decided to do this very last minute. Like about 10 minutes ago, I thought, let's do a live stream. But if you're interested, I can post the stream here and let you in. Let's see. I'm gonna jump in. There's the stream. Okay, so basically in the evening when I'm kind of in for the night and I'm done, sorry, I gotta tuck in my hair. I start off with taking my makeup off, and I just, like I said, I use the Walmart dupe for the Neutrogena liquid. I'm sorry, Bethany, it'll be fun. Yeah, I get that. Kiddos come first. But what I do is I take off my makeup. Like I said, I just use a liquid makeup remover from Walmart. It's their Equate dupe for the Neutrogena. And I used to use the wipes, like the Neutrogena wipes, all the time. And I found that I was kind of having a lot of trouble with them. I think I was developing like allergies from it. And the reason why is a lot of times I wasn't really washing my face afterwards. So I've gotten a lot more regimen recently. So I changed over to that liquid. So I just take a bunch of cotton balls and I just, work the makeup off. And then when it's totally off, I use a lot of Walmart dupes for various products because I find that they're actually really good and they're definitely at a discounted price. So CeraVe has a really nice hydrating cleanser that I really love using. And Bethany, definitely, anytime you want to do a live stream, I would love to do one. I love your channel. But I use, and this has actually been really hard for me to find. This is actually almost out, but I use the Equate Beauty dupe for the CeraVe Hydrating Cleanser. So it hydrates when it cleanses, and it has the ceramides in it. And I love this. And I also find, there it is. I find that it leaves my skin like super, super soft. So, and it's, several dollars less than the CeraVe. There's nothing wrong with the CeraVe at all. It's absolutely a fabulous product. But this, I find this one does just as nice a job. And I actually go in and I'll double wash my face, and I will actually just even use this cleanser even over my eyes, and I will double cleanse my eyes just to get all that makeup remover off, because I find that I have I develop like allergies if I don't get that stuff off. I have a whole bunch of the Neutrogena wipes left over, but I don't use them very often because yeah, I wasn't very good about cleansing. So I absolutely love CeraVe. You're going to see me talk about a bunch of CeraVe products. I actually have them all over because they're fantastic, absolutely fantastic. It's such a great company, but I am a bit of a money saver, and when I can, I do use some of the dupes. So Walmart actually has a really good dupe for it. Again, it's the Equate Beauty. I particularly like their hydrating cleanser dupe. They do actually dupe a couple other CeraVe facial washes. So there's a couple of options usually in the facial cleanser aisle. And these are always right next to the CeraVe. So just like they have the Equate Beauty next to all the Neutrogena that they dupe, you know, no problem finding it. So once I've done that, the next thing I do is I need to go in with a cotton ball, and I use a toner. So, and I should have done this kind of more right out of the shower. My face is pretty dry now, obviously, but you know, any toner you have, and this is one I have from you know, it's probably from BoxyCharm. It's this Terramare Aloe and Tea Tree toner. And so I'm just going to go in and do a little toner on my face first. So I got that kind of wet, and I'm just going to, you know, just kind of glide over my face with this toner. And I really am not a huge toner person, but I'm trying to be a little bit better about using it. So I also find it kind of draws any other dirt off your face, which there should not be any. Yeah, I do have, I believe I've got that. It's in my bin of things left to use. So, and I go down my neck because, you know, as you age, there's nothing that shows your age more than your neck. And I'm not even kidding you, because like right here, I'm showing my age. I mean, I'm obviously showing my age on my face, but I do this down my neck, and you'll see why. But I use the CeraVe stuff on my neck. It really has softened my skin quite a bit, but okay. You know, and sometimes I need a couple of these, but I really soaked that. So now that that is damp, I started a couple months ago using a retinol on my face, and I grabbed it. I started with the Glow Recipe Avocado Melt Retinol Sleeping Mask. And I started really carefully with this because you have to really start very, very carefully with retinols or retinoids, because your skin can really react to them. So I started with this, and once my skin got used to that, the next thing I used was the Sunday Riley A+ high dose retinol serum. And I probably about 45 days of this. And you know, it dried my skin out. You have to kind of start like every other night, and just be very careful with it as your skin starts to get used to those retinoids, because all retinoids are, retinol is vitamin A, but it's really quite it's a lot on your skin. So, and now what I am using, some nights I'm using my Sunday Riley, and then this is a product I got off of Amazon, and I really like this. So if I'm not using my Sunday Riley, which I just got a full one of these as an Ipsy add-on, so I do have a good month's worth of that. And let me show it to y'all. I don't know if you remember this, Bethany. I love this. It's freaking awesome. But I got off of Amazon this Youth Retinol Serum, Hyaluronic Acid, Vitamin E, and Aloe Vera. And so this is an order off of Amazon, and it is a 2.5% retinol. You know, the Sunday Riley one says it's a 6.5% power blend of stabilized retinoids. They don't tell you what the retinoids are in here, though. And there's a difference between retinoids and retinols. So this one is a 2.5% retinol. If I was a lucky lady, I would find a dermatologist and actually get like tretinoin, but that's not going to happen. So this is kind of like a gel almost. You can kind of see it right there. So I just go in right after I am done with my toner, and I am very carefully applying this retinol. And you can actually tap it into your eyelids and eyelid area. But again, I wouldn't do this like straight off with a really powerful retinoid. You need to like train your skin to like tolerate retinoids. So I would start with something much lighter, and I would not do it nightly. You can't use retinoids nightly when you're starting off, because they're very powerful and your skin will react. You're going to get flaking. It's going to dry out. You're going to get flaking. So I go down my neck, peeling, flaking, redness. You got to be really gentle and careful with it. Let me tell you, if you can get your hands on this, and I think this is still available in some places, this is a great one to start off with. I had no problems with it. It was really a great introduction into a retinoid or a retinol. So I am, like I said, using just gentle couple pumps, and I do my neck because you're going to show your age with your neck. So I do go all the way down my neck. You definitely use a lot more product, but you know, your neck is a huge part of showing your age and your skin. So yeah, I'm just going to do a little bit under my eyes. And you know, it's just vitamin A. So to me, it smells, this youth smells, because it's just a retinoid, it smells to me like vitamins. It's so bizarre. And so I got to get my nose and down here. This just soaks right into my skin. It's amazing how quickly it draws right into your skin. And yeah, I do try to avoid my brows because I did have my brows. They've been bladed, and they have been, let's see, they were microbladed, they were nanobladed, and most recently I had she calls it like omne brow, but it's more of like a true like tattooing. So I can actually feel that. And I've got really pretty good, yeah, the avocado one, Bethany, is amazing, but I can feel a little tingling in here, which is to be expected. But I have all the telltale, I'm over 40, and I have all the telltale signs of aging. And I was, my generation was so stupid. We would go out and we would bake in the sun as teenagers. And even in my 20s, baked in the sun for hours with no sunscreen to get as like brown as we could. And I have all this sun damage that I am just trying to, this retinoid will help with. And of course I'm terrified of skin cancer. So now I'm absolutely a crazy person about sunscreen. So I'm just making sure I've got that all in there. And I'm just going to let that kind of soak in and air dry in. And that's not like my final step, but I've pretty much covered everything. It's a little sticky. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I haven't been trying it terribly long, but I really, really like it a lot. But this one I used, this is my second bottle of this. This stuff is, I think, like $85 to get this Sunday Riley. It's really expensive. So I got lucky. Ipsy had these as an add-on for really like maybe 18 bucks. And so I jumped on it and grabbed it for a second bottle of it, because I was almost out of my first bottle and actually had ran out 2 days before I got this one. So really happy with that. So I'm kind of like alternating between them. And of course I do have my avocado. There's a little bit left in here. I haven't used it all up. It's a really nice product, but yeah, I'm just kind of letting that, it's my neck is dry. It's just around my eyes and my forehead that have to dry a little bit. making sure my hair is out of that. So the next thing that I would do is go in, you can go in over the top of that with like a peptide or like hyaluronic acid serum. And I'm going to go ahead and do that and do a little hyaluronic acid serum right over. And that has to, this is Peach and Lily's Glass Skin Refining Serum, translucent and luminous. And it's peach extract and peptide complex. So I'm going to look really greasy for a little bit here. But we're going to lock in the retinoid with this. And the thing with retinoids, like I said, they do dry out. Yeah, Bethany, I mean, it's bad. Like I have all this sun damage like here from, you know, bathing suits in my face. It's really bad. So, you know, and it's be really hard to get rid of that. Yeah, so this one, I like it. You know, I'm surprised it doesn't feel like there's, it feels like there's hyaluronic acid serum in here, but I think this just has glycerin, which is why it feels like that. But, you know, I'm just kind of going to dab a little under the eyes. And a little bit here. And actually, this is where I would go over my eyebrows. But so I got to let that kind of soak in. Just make sure I'm getting my neck too, because usually it doesn't take long. And especially this is so important to seal in some moisture because the retinols are so drying on your skin. Yeah, you know, so Bethany, like I was on, you know, looking at other YouTubers' channels, and there was one YouTuber was like, "Oh, I won't use glycerin," and I'm like, I don't understand why. It's vegan. It comes from vegetables. It's literally derived from vegetables, but could be. She didn't really say why. I think, you know, she could have an allergy to it. Maybe that whatever vegetables that it comes from, she could have an allergy to. But I'm like, I don't have a problem with glycerin because it comes from vegetables. But to each their own. So this is drying in. So the next thing you need to do, especially on the nights that you're doing the retinols like I am doing, you need to find something good to lock in your moisture with. So there's a couple of options I have used. Generally, because I have this and I'm trying to use it up, I've been using this Marc Jacobs Youthquake just because I'm trying to use it up. I did find I had a now this is almost gone. I've got this Sunday Riley. It's called Ice. It's ceramide moisturizing. I was hoping I had a little bit more in there, but I'll probably try to use this up. But the other one I would really recommend, especially in winter time, is a really intense CeraVe product. It's great for elbows, the heels of your feet or the balls of your feet, you know, to do this at night, maybe put some socks on, because this is a 46.5% pure, almost, you know, pure petrolatum. So it's, you know, it's going to remind you of petroleum jelly, which petroleum jelly is very similar to petrolatum. Obviously, they're very similar. But, you know, it's so important when you're using a retinol to, you know, to do this once a week. When I do this once a week, my skin in the morning is so baby soft. It's like a little newborn baby's butt. It's so soft because this petrolatum is just, it's amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and use the rest of this because I can tell it's soaking in. The Sunday Riley Ice, you know, it's a little like, obviously a little sample, and I'm almost out. So I'm just going to try to use it up, and I'm going to use that actually just around my eyes because I've used this before. I've got no problems with it. So I'm going to go ahead and use this around my eyes, my sensitive eye area, that sensitive, delicate skin. And just go ahead and do that because it's pretty nearly gone. I'll let that soak in. Then I will draw a little bit. But I find that, you know, especially going into winter, you know, I'm in the central time zone, basically in the Midwest, and we're getting into winter. And of course, there's no more humidity. And so our skin is just, it's been cold outside. Anytime outside, I live on a farm, as you guys know. Yeah. And it, you know, I'm out in the cold wind and the wind burn on my face, it's so drying. So yeah, it smells. I can't tell I don't have kids that have, you know, there's Play-Doh, but it is a unique smell. I don't mind it. There's some of the products have the nastiest smell, but this one's kind of fun. For some reason, it doesn't bother me. Yeah, I guess the Play-Doh smell. I almost am out. It's almost gone. I just want to use it up so I can get rid of the tub. So I'm going to just do it around here, but trying to just get the last little remnants out of it. Set that aside. So basically, like I said, I have been using the Marc Jacobs, and then once a week I'm using this, and I'm going to go ahead and actually put some of this on tonight. And it's kind of a weird feeling. You just have to go really slow because it does feel like you're putting you know, it's like putting petroleum jelly on, but all you got to do is just a very thin layer, and it actually just seals everything in. It's an occlusive. So it's just going to seal everything in, which is why I put like my serums on and everything, because yeah, it's so occlusive. It's just going to seal everything in really nice. And it'll eventually kind of dry in, and anything that doesn't dry, you can kind of like just pat off eventually with like a towel or a paper towel. But when the one, you know, night a week that I do this, this will be me for the next, I'll be good for the next 7 days. The next morning, my face is just baby soft. So it's so wonderful. What would I repurchase? Definitely. I love this product. I really do, but it's so expensive. I personally could not afford to buy it. In the standalone MSRP on this, if I remember, it's like $85. And there's no way I could do that because, you know, it's 30 milliliters, and it depends on how often you use this. If you're only using this, like every other night, I mean, I would use a lot of it because I do my neck, every other night. You know, this is probably 30 to 45 days. You might be able to stretch it out to 60 if you're careful in how much you use, and if you're not using it nightly. Yeah, thank you. Well, so I can't tell you how much using and adding a retinoid into my skincare routine has improved the quality of my skin. I'm just amazed, and I wish I had access to and known more about using retinoids in my 20s or even in my 30s, because the earlier you start it, you can practically stop the signs of aging using a good retinoid. A lot of ladies will go to a dermatologist, and if you can go to a dermatologist and you can get a prescription for tretinoin, that's like the top of the line, the best prescription retinoid you can get your hands on. And I remember as a kid, and this just kills me, it used to be called Retin A when it was, before it went generic, it was called Retin A. And it was, you know, it's an acne treatment, but it is stunning. Yeah. So I used to remember, like, when I was a senior in high school, my family went down to Mexico, you know, on the winter holiday, and you could get Retin A over the counter there. It wasn't a prescription. And I remember being like, oh, look at all the Retin A. We should, you know, take some Retin A back for our friends, because, you know, it was all prescription only in the United States. I wish I would have known. I would have absolutely filled my suitcase with Retin A, because it was so dirt cheap down there. You didn't need it. You didn't need a prescription. I don't know if I could have gotten it across the border, but, you know, I wish I knew then what I know now about this stuff. Yeah, Retin A was what it used to be called. Now it's just known as tretinoin because it's come off of, you know, the patent is done on it. And now the drug is called tretinoin. So if I could get my hands on that, that'd be great. But, you know, there's different types of retinols. And then there's what's called retinoids. And they're not all the same, but they are basically all derivatives of vitamin A. Pure retinol is vitamin A. So, you know, you don't have to be concerned about putting it around your eyes because depending on what it's mixed with, you know, the avocado stuff, you know, you got to be careful with that around your eye because it's mixed with a bunch of other stuff. And of course, you know, I don't have the box, so there's no ingredients on here. I don't remember what all is in here. It's not anything that would excite me or worry me, but, you know, you just be very careful, obviously. But I wouldn't start putting it around your eyes until you know whatever brand you're going to use, how your skin's going to react, because obviously this whole area here, including your eyes, such sensitive, very delicate skin. But, you know, I've got crow's feet, and then, you know, I'm getting lines. And, you know, I was never a smoker, so I don't really have any kind of smoker's lines here. But, you know, I'm getting the face lines. I'm not doing too bad here, but you know, I've got the deep wrinkles from, you know, basically squinting and stuff. So yeah. So, you know, this has got to just kind of marinate and, you know, and I'm just rubbing the excess CeraVe into my hands because it's just so good. This, you know, this high percentage petrolatum is really good stuff. It is such a good occlusive. You know, I recommend people consider at least one night a week, put all your, you know, do your toner, put all your wonderful serums, you know, whatever you know, your most amazing serum, whether it's a hyaluronic acid serum or like this one's a peptide complex, whatever you're going to use, and then lock it in with the petrolatum or the CeraVe. And I'm not kidding. When you get up in the morning, you're going to be like, oh, wow, because your face is just going to be so soft. It's amazing. So, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's a wonderful, wonderful ingredient in beauty and skincare. And I mean, I'm like, well, not really halfway through. I'm probably like a quarter of the way through this. I use it in the wintertime on my elbows, on the heels of my feet periodically, knees if they dry out or something. I love it. So, but yeah, and then my absolute favorite CeraVe that I like, I think I have 2 of these at work. I have 2 of these here down here on the desk. This is and then you can use this on your face as well nightly if you want. There's CeraVe moisturizing cream. This is a absolute game changer for me for wintertime for my skin on my hands. I have like the worst time like keeping my hands like hydrated. I get those horrible cracks all the time in the winter on my fingers that are just painful and they're so deep. And when I started using this 3 years ago, it was like total game changer. I mean, let me grab one other product. I have also talked a lot about using Vanicream, and this stuff's wonderful too. I do use this a lot. It is dermatologic recommended. It's accepted by the Eczema Association. This stuff is amazing. Actually, my dermatologist absolutely recommended this. So if I'm not using this, I'm using this. So they're both, I think my CeraVe's maybe I got a quarter of it left in here, and this is about a third full. But yeah, and I end up using the Vanicream like all up and down my arms too. So yeah, Bethany, my hands, it's terrible. And you know, I'm outside on the farm, which just makes it worse. So this has been like absolutely like life-changing in the quality of my hands, like in the wintertime. I think last winter I went through like the entire winter with hardly any finger cracking at all. It was amazing. So I can't say enough good things about that. But so yeah, I just got this. It's called Youth. This is the retinoid I'm trying to, you know, focus on using. This one, so I got this on Amazon, and I'll have to get the link and I can put it down below in the description. I'll have to do that after the live stream. This is the 2-ounce bottle, and I think it's $30 for shipped free for Prime members. This should last me probably at least 45 to 60 days, I would think. And I basically, my skin is trained enough that I use the retinoids pretty much every night now. When I started, it was like every third night, every fourth night, and then I worked up to every other, because it did, when you are, you know, your skin's learning about retinoids, this will dry down. I had flaking and peeling in weird places, like my forehead like flaked and peeled, and then like suddenly my cheeks and around my mouth were flaking and peeling, and you know, just so you know, like that is to be expected of a retinoid, which is why, like I say, it's so important to use a quality serum and then to lock it in with an occlusive or a really thick hydrating moisturizer at night, because your skin is really going to learn and need that moisture. So I'm pumped to use this. I've only had it, you know, for a short amount of time, kind of testing that out to see if I like it. Like I say, I can't say enough good things about this. I was really thrilled that Ipsy had another, because Boxy sold out of it immediately. I got the original one in BoxyCharm. When they did their pop-up sale or whatever, I jumped in to order this, and by the time I got my cart to checkout, they were all sold out. I mean, like everybody bought a million of these because they're, you know, it's such good stuff. But then to my surprise, this last month, Ipsy had this, and I was like, hallelujah. So I ordered it. And the funny thing is, this box, this is the BoxyCharm box. When I got the one from Ipsy, it actually just came like this, bubble wrapped. So it didn't have the box, but it's definitely the same product, and I love it. I'm just glad I have the box, that I kept the box from BoxyCharm, because it has talks about, you know, how to use it. And, you know, I was pretty new to it back when we got this. So yeah, I do have a tendency to use various different serums that we're getting in some of these boxes, because I got a lot of them, and I don't really buy them anymore. But so the next thing that you have to understand about the retinols, because this is, you know, it's really kind of changing like your skin, and your skin becomes quite sensitive for a while to it. And as we talked about, Bethany, it's so important the next morning. So I'm going to kind of talk about that. When I get up in the morning, you know, if it's during the week, like when I go to work, I always jump in the shower and I wash my face in the shower. But if it's at the weekend, I usually, you know, like tonight I showered at night. So, you know, every morning I get up and I wash my face, and generally I just use this, and I'll do, again, a double wash, especially if I am doing like tonight where I'm using this occlusive. I'll do a double wash of this, and then, you know, I'll put on any kind of like moisturizing serum that I want. And then it is so, so, so important to put on a sunscreen. You absolutely have to use a quality high SPF sunscreen when you're using a retinoid, because your skin is so sensitive, and it's really important anyway, regardless of whether you're using a retinoid or not, to use a good quality sunscreen on your face. You know, just like I talked about earlier, you know, I was an idiot when I was a kid, and I have all the sun damage. And, you know, now the ozone layer is pretty bad. You know, a lot of people my age, my parents' age, are popping up with skin cancer because we were stupid back when I was younger, and nobody used any kind of SPF. You know, it was kind of a joke. If anything, we used stuff that made you tan faster. So, you know, CeraVe makes some really good products that have, their morning moisturizers that have sunscreen in them. I personally don't like chemical sunscreens. My eyes are very sensitive. They tend to, you know, if I use them for like above my eyes, especially in summertime, I find that, you know, as you sweat a little, they run down into your eyes and they sting. So I have always preferred to use a mineral-based sunscreen. Well, the problem, and I'm looking to see if I have the one I used all summer here. I think I put it away. CeraVe's got a wonderful mineral facial sunscreen, but you know, it leaves that white cast on your face because, you know, it's titanium oxide or zinc oxide. you know, so you have this like ghosty white look, which annoys me to no end. So I found, you know, and there's a number of producers that are starting to provide like a good facial mineral SPF with a tint to it. And they're kind of expensive, and mineral sunscreens are a little bit more expensive, but I found one on Amazon that I am absolutely deeply in love with. This is a game changer. It's the Dermatology DRM. So it's, you know, they kind of, you know, and it is their tinted moisturizer SPF, anti-aging, oil-free. And it's, you know, it's tinted and it's just got a light tint to it. And I freaking love this. It is, it's kind of like, I'm trying to remember what they call it. It's like a, and I will link this below as well in the description after this live. It's kind of like a one, you know, it's not like they have a, it's not like a foundation where you have all these different colors. It's just meant to be kind of enough like of a tint in there that you don't have that like white cast. And the SPF in here, the active ingredients are zinc oxide and oxanoate. So the octinoxate, I can't even say octinoxate or no, octinoxate. Octinoxate is a chemical sunscreen. And then obviously the zinc oxide is the mineral. But this is, I don't wear foundation hardly ever, but this leaves my skin like, it leaves it like, it kind of helps with like evening out the redness. It kind of evens out all the different tones in my face. And it is just enough of, I don't know what's in here. There's some amazing skincare ingredients in here. It's got niacinamide in here, which is fantastic for your skin. It's got sodium hyaluronate, which is basically hyaluronic acid serum. It does have glycerin in here, but it leaves like my skin with this like dewy glow that I just love. I can't say enough good things. So this is basically called universal tint. So, and I don't know how this would work on darker skinned ladies, like African-American ladies, but this is, I don't know how good you'll be able to see it. This is what it looks like. So it literally kind of looks like foundation. I feel bad like wasting this because I love this product so much, but let me grab, wipe this off. It leaves like, if there's some sort of like, I don't know if it's the hyaluronic acid serum in here or the niacinamide that's in here, but like it leaves with like a little bit of a glow. Your skin has just this little bit of a glow, and the tint in it just kind of helps even out like all the different tones in my face. And like I said, I don't wear foundation because, you know, I spend my entire day at work in a mask. So it's just not worth it to me to bother using that kind of stuff on my face. So, and I'm not a big foundation girl, but this has been an absolute game changer. I freaking love this. So I am obsessed with this. I'm so thrilled that it is a mostly mineral-based sunscreen. Like I said, there is a little chemical in there. The zinc oxide is 12%, and then the octinoxate is 7.5%. So, you know, it's going to be your UVA and UVB protections, but it's oil-free. I love, like I said, the fact it's got niacinamide in it, which is so good for your skin. It's got hyaluronic acid in here, or sodium hyaluronate is in here. There's a bunch of other gobbledygook in here, but those just immediately jumped out at me as, you know, like they're in skincare. And so I can't say enough good things about this product. I am just obsessed with it. But the nice thing is this is an SPF of 46. So this is a fantastic, you know, for your face. It's not like an SPF 30. This is a good start to like actually blocking the sun from your skin. So I'm loving it. I can't, I'm obsessed with this. So, you know, I'm obsessed with using retinoids now. My skin over the last like 2 months, my skin has softened. I have seen so much progress in my skin starting to use the retinoids. And it's probably been a little over 2 months. Like I said, I started with this, which I think, again, I think this came in boxy. I could be wrong. I'd have to go back and look now. It's been a couple months, but I feel like you can still get this in boxy pop-up. And this is not a high percentage of retinoid. This has got a retinoid in it, not retinol. So it's a little bit of a derivative of that. So this is a great start. And then like I was thrilled when I got this. I mean, this was at the time when I got it, this was absolutely game changing. And this really, like I said, I didn't have any issues, any reactions or like major peeling with this. But when I started with this and like upped the retinol, my skin reacted to it. It says it's, you know, high dose retinoid serum. The interesting thing is the ingredients in here. Let me see what, I don't think it actually says what kind of retinoid it is. It's not retinol, it's a retinoid, and they're a little different. And I don't have enough like detailed. I've read up on it, but I don't want to misquote something, but it's really interesting. If you go look, do some Googling, it's pretty fascinating, but you know, they're all vitamin A derivatives. So yeah, it just says, oh, here it is. Phenyl trimethicone, and then it says just retinol. So this one does have a pure retinol in it, supposedly. But yeah, I peeled, my skin really dried out and peeled with this. So, you know, that's kind of when I really had to kind of start like, okay, I need to really up the game on the evening moisturizer. And I went into, there were nights where I would just use this because I've had such good success with my hands with this. And then it kind of finally dawned on me to dig this out because I don't tend to use this in the summertime. I pop this out in the wintertime, in the fall. So I dug this out, and it's been a game changer for kind of keeping the moisture in when I'm kind of really highly using these retinoids. So that is kind of my facial evening and morning prep. So yeah, I cannot say enough good things about this dermatology. I will link to it below in the description off of Amazon. It's been a game changer as well. And I'm loving it. And then we got the Tarte, that little sample of the Tarte tinted moisturizer in the Ipsy, October Ipsy base bag. And I've actually been using that as like a primer under my eye makeup. I know we've kind of had that conversation where I have a bunch of different like eyeshadow primers, but I've been using that one lately, and so far it's been pretty good. I've only had like one eyeshadow that kind of reacted a little bit weird. It kind of wanted to pill up on there. You know, those are just kind of chemical reactions that happen. Yeah, I have found, like I was using hyaluronic acid serum at night, and then I was using it was actually the Equate dupe for one of the CeraVe PM moisturizers. And I actually found that they were like chemically not compatible. I would have the hyaluronic acid serum on, and then I would go to put on this Equate, which is basically their dupe of a CeraVe evening moisturizer, and it would pill. So, you know, and I kind of did some research on that. And sometimes certain things just chemically are not compatible, and you get that kind of pilling happening. So that's fascinating to learn more about. But yeah, Bethany, the eye primer, me and my eye primers. So yeah, I gotta pull that down, but I'm letting this kind of soak in. It feels, you know, you can see it. It's actually really soaked in a number of places. And anywhere where I kind of feel like it's still a little like heavy and greasy, I'm kind of pushing that to where it feels like it's sucked in, because I can tell like my neck feels really, it just sucked right in, and my neck feels really dry, which is probably true from the wind. So I'm going to just go ahead and kind of pull some of this excess down and pat it in. And actually, I'm going to probably put a little bit more on my neck because there's nothing that shows your age quicker than your neck. Like, oh, everybody's like, oh, why are you so obsessed about skincare on your neck? And I'm like, do you see how these older women wear a lot of scarves around their neck? It's because you show your age on your neck. Like, you know, it's gravity, and our necks are often exposed and often forgotten about for like SPF and, you know, moisturizing and using fancy serums on. So yeah, it actually felt really dry. And I actually do go around the back and get the back of my neck a little bit too, under my hairline. And I'm actually very careful in the summertime. I will slather a ton of sunscreen on the back of my neck. I'm actually better about that sometimes than I am about getting like around here. My friends always tease me because I'll use like a pure mineral and I'll be like, I'll have this like sheet of pure white on the back of my neck. But I burned all the time as a kid because it was, like I said, I was really foolish and never wore an SPF. And I'm terrified that I'm going to end up with skin cancer because of all the burning I did as a child. So I'm trying to like just block all that with good quality. Thank you. But you know, the dewy look is probably just the greasy look of the petrolatum. But yeah, it's wonderful. So, you know, and everybody's like, oh my God, you're putting like so much petrolatum on there. And you can use like petroleum jelly, but this is made to go on your skin, like, and on your face, you know. CeraVe's got the ceramides in it. You know, there's always the ceramides in there. I don't know if you can see that right there with ceramides. So they always have their patented ceramides in all their products. And let me tell you, when I found CeraVe like 3 years ago, again, a game changer. Adding ceramides into like every skincare product that I use has softened my skin. So I just can't say enough good things. But so I prefer, you know, if you're going to put like a petroleum jelly or something, just get like CeraVe's petrolatum, this stuff here. And it comes with the added ceramides in there. And I think it's better for your skin than just pure petroleum jelly, but you're probably seeing like that dewy greasiness. And so like my problem is like, everybody's like, God, you have huge eyes. Well, they're big and they're sunken. And I get, a lot of people do, you know, a lot of discoloration around here. And I, to be honest with you, I just don't get excited about it. I mean, maybe I should as a YouTuber, especially a YouTuber who likes to talk about, you know, skincare and beauty, but, you know, especially now that we're wearing masks and stuff, like my mask at work literally comes to right here. So I just don't get excited about it. I will on occasion, you know, put some kind of like a concealer and stuff in there. But, you know, if I'm not using like a foundation, I don't get too excited. But now that I am obsessing with this that has the tint in it, I can probably go ahead and try to match it a little bit and do some covering, but I just don't get too excited about it. If I was 20, I totally would get more excited about it. But, you know, I have all the crow's feet kind of and the wrinkling. And like another problem I have is like, and I've always had this problem. It is not entirely due to the fact that I'm in the over 40 age, but I have a lot of excess skin on like my eyelids. So I have like a massive problem with creasing and stuff like that with any kind of makeup. You know, I've got enough excess skin and folding and stuff like all around here that I have problems with. If I've tried a lot of different types of like foundations and things, and you just get that creasing and the caking, and it just looks horrendous. I even have trouble using certain types of eyeliners because, and I've talked about this like doing unboxings. A lot of people like the Kat Von D or KVD vegan eyeliner, liquid eyeliner. To me, like I used it, I had to throw it away because it was such a watery consistency. Like when I used it on my eyelids, it jumped into those fine lines and like traveled all over my eyes, like a river. It just ran everywhere and it looked awful. And it also wasn't very, it was very translucent almost when it did that. It wasn't opaque and it just drove me nuts. So like I have a lot of problems with that, but just because of like the shape of my eye, probably like how my eye sits in my head, and the excess skin. And of course, obviously, you know, age doesn't help, but I've always had that problem with kind of that excess skin. So like I can't do, yeah, the eyeliner stuff just drives me bonkers, but it's hard. Like my absolute favorite, and I love liquid eyeliner, and that's hard for the kind of skin I have with the excess, kind of excessive skin and the wanting to be kind of like wrinkly and crinkly. I love liquid eyeliners, but my most favorite I'm obsessed with is the Araceli Beauty liquid eyeliner pens. They're super, super opaque and they're fabulous. I absolutely, they're like my go-to. I have 2 of them and I'm obsessed. Like I'm always shopping like Ipsy and Boxy looking to see if they ever have like pop-ups with Araceli Beauty in there and they have the liquid eyeliner. I'm all over it and I order it and I'm like, yes, it is my go-to. Like I have a couple other brands that are pretty okay, but I a lot of times like kind of like that KVD vegan, I find that they kind of get into the lines and they run. So I don't have that problem with Araceli. I love them. They're just amazing. Excuse me. I was going to get a bottle of water and I never brought it. I don't know what I did with it. I probably left it somewhere in the house. But yeah, so those are kind of my, like everybody's like, oh, you know, you got to do the big cat's eye. And I can't do a cat's eye because I have all this excess skin at the corners of my eyes right here. And I don't care how I try to draw it. I've tried like 16 different ways to draw it and it looks awful on me because of all the excess skin. I just can't get it to look right. So I don't do those, and I don't need to do a cat eye. I mean, I really don't, you know, I'm not 20, so wish I could do one, but I just can't make it look right on my skin. There's just so much excess skin and, it's just hard. Excuse me. So yeah, it's been interesting trying all the different, types of liners. So I've had a couple of stick eyeliners that have been really, really nice lately that I really like, some of the ones are like so hard, you know, they're like, my eyes are so sensitive. Like I can't press really hard to get some of the stick stuff to come and look good. So for me, like, they need to be kind of creamy, like not so buttery soft creamy that they run down your face immediately, but they need to be creamy enough that they go on and glide on fairly well, so they don't hurt. Because otherwise what happens is my eyes water because it's, you know, you're trying to get them to kind of look good. And so what do, you know? So yeah, that's been my my evening skincare routine, and I'm pretty greased up. It feels really nice. I'm actually going to be watching Saturday Night Live tonight because Adele is hosting, and I love Adele. Can't wait to see that. So I kind of thought, you know, I can do this. This will be my night where I can do an intensive, you know, thick moisturizer, and that'll just sit on my face for a couple hours before I go to bed. And then I can just kind of pat the excess off. And yeah, so ColourPop, they're really soft. I wonder, see, and that's the problem I've always had is if they're too soft, like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, I am like the best, like, tester to, if products are going to slide down your face, I'm the one to test them, because I don't care how much primer you use or fixing spray I use. If something is going to slide down my face, it doesn't matter how much super glue I put on there, it just slides down my face. So like if it's super, super soft, it would probably like just end up down, like they'd literally just come down to here and I look like a raccoon. So, you know, it doesn't matter how much primer I use or how much fixing or setting spray I use. They just do it. It's, I don't know. I've never been able to figure out how to get it to prevent. You know, it's crazy. Yeah. Oh, it's like a joke. I tell my friends, I go, I can't use anything like that's too creamy. First of all, I'm always complaining, like I said, about the liners that get into the creases of the excess kind of skin and like run everywhere. Cause I'm like, oh, this would be such a nice eyeliner, but into the trash it goes. And if it's too creamy, it just literally runs down my face. And my coworker, I have a couple of coworkers that chuckle because I'm always kind of whining to them. And I'm like, ooh, do you like the eyeliner that's like down, you know, it like bumps into my mask at the end of the day. And I'm like, you know, I'm kind of trying to wipe it off. And I mean, I will like put like primer and then I'll put some eyeshadow under it to kind of try to like set it, you know, with like a powder. And I'll use a setting spray and it just, I don't know what it is, but it's like everything just runs down my face. If it's going to do that at all, it's going to run off on my face. So yeah, I've been using a couple of different types of fixing sprays, setting sprays, whatever you call them, to see if it's a product that's already slid down my face. Setting sprays and fixing sprays, they don't help. Using a little bit of like shadow or powder underneath there to kind of try to like set all that in there, like you would set like your foundation, doesn't do anything. I don't like know what is the deal, but yeah, I think it's just the way my skin is and the way like my eyes are set and like, you know, I don't know. The thing I am blessed with, when I had her do my brows, like nobody is perfectly symmetrical, right? So I had a brow that was like a little, everybody does. You always have a brow that's a little bit offset of the other one. And so I kind of had her, she didn't even them out perfectly, but I had her kind of fix it a little because I had a brow that was like, one that had a lot more hair and one that really didn't. Like, so this side, this tail is, I just don't have a lot of hair there. But she kind of, you know, it kind of opens up the eyes. And so I have a lot of real estate between my crease and my brow line. And so that actually that's a lot of square footage, so to speak, to do eye makeup. So that's been kind of fun to figure out. You know, I've always had a little bit more real estate than a lot of people, but it's been a little interesting to kind of, as you know, she finally evened it out. And I've cleaned up my brows a little bit. It's been kind of fun to do that. And I feel fortunate about that. As much as I complain about, like I said, the excess skin and everything, I got a lot of people that are like, you're lucky you have all that real estate in here, you know, from here to here. Cause I do. So yeah. So, well, Bethany, I would love to do a live with you guys, any of you guys. We can set something up. It's a lot of fun to do. And I don't, you know, somebody else can host it if they want. I can host it. I like using StreamYard because I can invite people in. Anybody that wants to jump in and join in certainly can do that. And you can control it by StreamYard lets you control, you know, like I put the link out there, anybody could have jumped in, but they don't get to actually show up unless I add them into the stream. So I do love some StreamYard, but yeah, it would be a lot of fun. I would absolutely love doing it. I probably should have thought about doing this stream a little earlier this evening and posted it out there a little bit quicker so that a few more people showed up. People aren't really used to me jumping on this late at night on a Friday night, so I have a feeling I'm probably going to be surprising a few people that I did this, but it was a lot of fun, and I took the opportunity. Like I said, I just colored my hair, and you know, it was time to do my night routine. I thought it'd be a really great time to talk about skincare and nightly routines. So yeah, but we're coming on an hour here, and I think I'm about ready to call it a good time. So thanks for joining me, Bethany. It was really good. It was a lot of fun, and I'll be watching your channel for your next videos. I don't know what I'm going to be popping up next. I'm waiting for some things to show up in the mail. It's so hit or miss. Like I said, the most exciting things, and maybe I'll do a separate I might do a separate video on these two things because they're fairly new to me, and they've been game changers. I'm just absolutely thrilled with those products. So I might do something on those in the next week or so. So have a good night, darling. So I see we got another person. I'm sorry, I'm signing off. Have a good night, guys. See you on the next one.